Whoo, it's a bit bright. Tone it down some. Today, we're gonna be talking about making habits around standing up from your desk, breaking up your day, and making sure you are not sitting down for 8 hours a day. If you have been wondering what are the best, most recent studies when it comes to breaking habits, creating new habits, and actually implementing this into something that you are trying to focus on yourself, you wanna stay tuned. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel above. This way over here. There's some awesome stuff coming out. Also, if you've never been to the website, check out there. If you have been looking for a place to start when it comes to utilizing exercise for a sensitive back, if you are looking to get your life back, if you want confidence in your ability to move again, if you want a confidence in your ability to play your favorite sport or your activity or chase your kids around the freaking backyard, I'm sharing 4 of the things that you need to focus on when it comes to gaining that confidence back and utilizing a step-by-step process to making it all happen. If you want that, check out the website. Again, fitnessforbackpain.com. I will link it down below. How do you break an old habit and create a new habit around something that you want to accomplish? Now, this can be applied to just about anything. If you have a habit you've been trying to break for a long time and you're like, dang it, it's been 4 months and I haven't seen nothing from this habit that I've been creating, well, it's okay. It's okay. There is a lot of research out there on creating habits and what it takes for a habit to stick. And the main thing I want you to understand and I want you to take in for yourself is that it takes time to create a habit. Now, doesn't mean that you shouldn't obviously try to start something, but even when it comes to New Year's resolutions, my joke, since I've been in the weight loss, nutrition, strength industry, fitness we call it, for 10 plus years now, I believe, truly believe in my heart that March is the death of all resolutions. Why is it the death of all resolutions? Because I know how long it takes to create a new habit. And I know that if you have made it to March and you're doing your habit, well, guess what? It's no longer a resolution. It's a new habit. It's a lifestyle change that you've created. If you look back on your resolution and you're like, dang, well, there's always next year. If that's what you're saying now, then you're in March probably. Odds are you're in March. Now, this question came in from a reader, and it specifically is asking, how do I create a habit around standing up at my desk throughout the day? And it's a really good habit to create, especially if you are at a desk job. Now, let me preface this with saying, if you have a desk job, are you doomed? Absolutely not. If you have a herniated disc and you are at a desk job, are you doomed? Absolutely not. If you have a ruptured, I can go on and on and on. If you sit down for a job a lot, often throughout the entire day, or even breaking it up, the idea behind what you want to do when it comes to sitting, standing, how much you should do, how much you should not, the goal is to be in motion. You want to move often throughout your day. Yes, if you are an IT sales guy and you just sit there and you smile and dial all day, or you are a pilot and you fly everywhere and you sit in your cockpit, you know, for whatever how many hours you sit a day, and then you're waiting for airplanes to take off, so you're sitting somewhere else. If you sit, the goal is to break this habit so that you can create an environment for your body to be able to move, to get some variety, some different flavors when it comes to sitting versus standing. Now, let's focus on the desk alone, since this is a question that we're dealing with. The desk. Well, tip number 1, set a timer and set it for 20-minute blocks. I think 30-minute blocks you could do if you want, but let's just start with a 20-minute block. You're gonna set your day up in 20-minute blocks. Whatever you're doing, you can add whatever you want to add in those 20 minutes. That doesn't matter. What matters is there is some kind of alarm, awareness factor, some kind of disrupt in that time frame that once you hit 20 minutes, something's going to tell you to do something, whether it be change your activity. You're going to go from studying or researching to taking notes, from taking notes the next 20 minutes to writing it all down in the computer. Whatever your job is, break it in 20 minutes. At every 20-minute mark, that is when you're going to stand up and do some kind of movement. Now, what you're gonna do when you stand up it really doesn't matter. It could be walking out to your truck. It could be walking down the hall. I don't know what your office space looks like. If you have a long office with multiple floors, walk to the second floor above you and then walk back down to your desk and sit down. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a whole 7-minute break or you have to take 10 minutes off or anything like that. Just move. Give your body some different flavor to chew on a little bit, other than just sitting at your desk for the entire time. So you've got your blocks, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, or 30 minutes, however you want to do it. I like to start at 20. The next tip is writing it down. Now, you're not just going to write on your hand or on your phone or on your desktop on your phone or your desktop on your computer. Write it down in high traffic areas. So if at home, you're at the kitchen, you're in the fridge, you're in the bathroom, your closet, wherever you spend a lot of time, you're going to write down, stand up, move around every 20 minutes. Write something that's going to remind you of what it is you're trying to break. So in this case, we're talking about standing. So where you frequent often when it comes to you're at work or you're at home because you work from home, set reminders up throughout your home or your office that's going to remind you to be thinking, consciously be thinking about the task of getting up. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get so involved with work and you're cranking it out and you're on a project and you're being super productive, and the next thing you know, 3 hours goes by and you're just stiff. So then you go to stand up and then you start stretching and pulling and yanking and twisting, and your body just starts going like, whoa, what's this dude doing? And if you're already sensitive, you're dealing with chronic or some kind of sensitivity, that's going to set off what could be a spasm or set off what could be some days of irritation. Believe me, I've seen it, I've experienced it myself. If you have some sensitivity, you've got some mental blockages going on that's causing this kind of stuff to happen. So jumping up after 4 or 5 hours of sitting and then trying to do some movement, it's going to cause some potential issues. So the last tip is you're going to have to commit. Okay, and this is where it gets really dicey with people, committing. Commit to the change. And there's a lot of things you can commit to, a lot of habits, a lot of resolutions, I guess, if you're in that season. But in this case, I want you to commit to one change and one change only. If it is all you are focusing on is your time sitting at the office, then only focus there. Make that your battleground. Make that where you are highly conscious, you're really thinking about what's going on, what you're doing, how often you've been sitting, making sure you're standing up until it becomes a habit. Now, I want to share with you my secret to habits and how long it actually takes to create a habit and make a habit stick. Now, there's an article, and I will link it down below here, that talks about the science behind the length of time that you need to actually see a habit take flight. And when I say take flight, I mean stick, because those are two totally different things that I just tried to make one. So it made no sense. And it actually takes 2 months, I think it's like 63 days exactly, maybe 66, can't remember, but I know it's about 2 months. You've got to be in it to win it for 2 months at least before any change becomes a habit. So stick with it. It's going to take time. It's got to be something that you just do over and over and over. You can apply this to weight loss. You can apply this to in the gym. If you've been eating healthy for 2 whole months, 60 to 66 days to be exact, if you've been doing it for that long, guess what? You're seeing results, and odds are you're addicted to the results and you're liking what you're seeing, so you're going to continue with the habit. So you can apply this to this. If you're trying to build a routine around your life at the office, commit to that one change at the office. I'm not saying you go home and cut up all your couches and throw them out and now you're standing watching TV all night. I'm not saying that. Right now, make it sustainable, make it simple, focus on what you're doing at the office. Another bonus tip, I guess you can say, is if you're into doing things that involve writing and reading or speaking things out loud. Some people are into writing some positive things down on a card, and every morning they wake up, they get themselves ready for work, they go into work at their desk, they sit and they read the card. The card has what they want to accomplish the day, who they are, what they're not, confidence builders, positivity. There's a lot of things you can add to that card that you can use to set those reminders. If you're setting your day up with I will not be negative. I will be more positive. I will stand up more often. I am successful. I am an achiever. I'm a go-getter. I will succeed. Whatever you want to talk about on your card to give yourself focus towards your goals at hand, do it. Write them down on a card. Review that card every single morning throughout the day and even before you go to bed at night. The goal is to ingrain it into your mind about this change. So that's it. If you are stuck at a desk, the key thing is to go through those 3 points with the bonus point that I threw in there, along with understanding that it's gonna take time to see the results and the change that you wanna see. If you've been doing it for 7 weeks and you're like, bump this, it ain't sticking, guess what? You're quitting too early. Okay? Give it at least 60 plus days, 2 months, 2 whole months, commit to that at least, to make these changes and to see these changes through. And I promise you, you're gonna sit there and every 20 to 30 minutes outside those 2 months is your body's gonna crave that variety, and you're gonna naturally get up, walk around and find something to do for 1 minute to 2 minutes that's gonna give you that change that you want. That is how you create a habit around something that you wanna change. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Again, if you are here this far, I appreciate you watching all the way through the end. If you've liked this, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to share it with a friend who does sit down all day, be my guest. I thank you so much for your time, and I'll catch you guys later.